Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. So here's a new deck profile for you guys today. Now I apologize that it's been a while since I uploaded anything. I just, wanted to take a good break from Yu-Gi-Oh! In general. Plus, also recording videos for my channel, just because I've been busy with other stuff and I just haven't really found much motivation to upload anything. So yeah, I apologize for my brief hiatus. But yeah, I'm back now. I'm ready to make some new content, especially now that the format has greatly shifted thanks to the new ban list. I was actually genuinely shocked that Baron DeFleur and Savage Dragon got banned, but you know what? I'm kind of okay with it because now it makes deck building so much more easier. Like Nibiru and Effect Veiler and other hand traps just got a major boost. Like even Ghost Ogre is pretty good this format. Thankfully, we're no longer in a tier 0 format with Snake Eye Fire King. Now, Snake Eye is still very powerful, but it doesn't have its tier 0 status anymore. It's still very powerful, keep in mind. And of course, I built my deck in order to, deal with other strategies like Voiceless Voice. Pearly just got a boost from the previous ban list since they got a card back at 2. And overall, yeah, there's a lot of good variety of this format. So anyway, figured I'd share with you guys what I came up with this time. So this is actually Scrap Dino Nemeses. As y'all guys can clearly see, Thunder Dragon Colossus is back at 1, but I'm not running a Thunder Dragon engine. So you're going to see very shortly how I basically make Thunder Dragon Colossus in this deck. So anyway, let's get started. Alright, so starting off with the main deck, it's 42 cards. I'm playing 2 copies of Ultimate Conductor Tyranno, still one of the best boss monsters ever. I mean, it's a Book of Eclipse, and it can attack all monsters by sending them to the graveyard while they're in defense mode, and it burns your opponent for damage, so like that's a lot to do for just one card, Next, 3 copies of Soul Eating Oviraptor. This is your main starter. It's Foolish Burial. It's also Rhoda for your dinosaurs. Most of the time, you're just going to search out your miscellaneous source. Unless you already have it in your opening hand, get your Ultimate Conductor. Next up, 3 copies of Baby Sarasaurus. These cards are crazy good because, once they're popped, you get to summon a level 4 dinosaur monster. Keep in mind that is a mandatory effect. But yeah, Baby Sarasaurus, it's just crazy. It just does so much. Same thing with its counterpart, Petite Pteranodon. I run that at 2, simply because, I do have a lot of dinosaurs that are above level 4, like Pankratops. But we'll get more into that shortly. Next, 2 copies of Animadorn Archosaur. You basically bring this off of Miscellaneous' effect. Now, unless you don't have an Oviraptor, then it's going to be your secondary normal summon. But you use this to pop one of the babies, search out any double evolution pill card from your deck to your hand, and then, of course, you trigger off your babies that way. So, yeah, Animadorn Archosaur, excellent card to play at least. 1 Misk, still limited. Honestly, I wish this card was at 2, but, gotta make do with 1. But on the bright side, with the Nemesis engine, it does actually allow you to recycle it, so yeah, Miscellaneous Source, does come back into your main deck from time to time. Moving on, 1 copy of Gyrex. If it's Spanish, it special summons itself right back, so great extender. I'm only running 1 Pankratops in this deck simply because it can be a little bricky. So, and considering for this build, I actually want to go first. I mean, it's a good going second card, keep in mind, but most of the time you're just going to bring this off of the effect of Petite Pteranodon later on anyway, so yeah, I feel like having that extra disruption is pretty nice. Now for the Scrap engine, I'm only playing 2 copies of Scrap Raptor. Grants you an additional normal summon for any Scrap monster so long as you pop a card on your side of the field. So comes in handy. Also, if this card is destroyed by the effect of a Scrap card, and this can include itself, you can add 1 Scrap Factory or 1 non-tuner Scrap monster from your deck to your hand, in which case your main target is going to be Scrap Chimera. If this card is normal summoned, you can special summon 1 Scrap monster from your graveyard, so pretty good. And what's really nice about this, I'm not using this for a synchro engine by any means. It just helps go into either Scrap Wyvern, or if it's already out on the field, by the way, it's just basically free rank 4 toolbox, because that's basically what this build is aiming for. It's a rank 4 toolbox deck. For the Nemesis engine, I'm only playing 1 copy of Nemesis Flag and 1 copy of Corridor, and this is basically the card that enables you to go into Thunder Dragon Colossus because it's a Thunder monster. Now, to get to Flag, I do have a rank 4 monster that lets me search it out, so for anyone who already knows what that is, well, yeah, that's basically what the gimmick is. But yeah, you search off Nemesis Flag, use this effect to, special summon itself by recycling any one of your banished cards. Use it to search out the Corridor. Corridor, same thing, recycle back one of your banished cards, special summon it. And keep in mind, this does count as an effect, not a summoning condition. So that's how you can go into Colossus this way. And yeah, that's basically it. All right. For my hand traps, I'm playing 3 copies of Ash Blossom, you know, still really good this format. 3 Imperm, you know, figured why not. 2 copies of Effect Veiler. Now, the reason I'm running both now is because, again, Effect Veiler just got a huge boost, but Effect Veiler does help you play around cards like Set Rotation, because, like, I feel like people are going to start playing that now that field spells are going to be, like, one of the big major toolboxes of this format, and people are going to try to, like, add some kind of card to your side of the field, which case it's most likely going to be a field spell. That way they can keep you off of Imperm. But if you're on Effect Veiler, then yeah, you shouldn't have any issues with that, since it's basically the same card. Only thing is, like, you can only activate it during your opponent's main phase. I'm also playing 2 copies of Nib. You know, just got a lot stronger now that Baron DeFleur is gone, Borlo Savage is gone, so, like, yeah. All, like, the main generic synchros are just, like, they're gone, you know. I say thank heavens, because, like, I'm kind of getting tired of trying to, like, break those kind of boards with so many different negates, you know. Now people are just going to have to rely heavily on Appaloosa, because, you know, and that one's a lot easier to deal with. Alright, so now moving on for spells. 3 copies of Fossil Dig, you know, card's pretty broken. 3 Lost World, also pretty broken, and this also kind of helps you play around Imperm, if, you know, just by giving your opponent a token. It also plays around Effect Veiler too, because they can't target anything except tokens. 2 Double Evo Pill, you know, still pretty nuts. 2 copies of Triple T. I don't have Thrust, but I mean, Triple T is still just as good. 1 Terraforming, and 1 Called by the Grave. Alright, so that rounds up our main deck. Now for the extra deck, I'm playing, of course, as you already saw, the 1 copy of Thunder Dragon Colossus. This card's pretty nuts because, you know, it can protect itself. It's a floodgate. You know, just a great way to keep your opponent from searching, and they are going to have to try to out this card pretty early on. It's not too difficult, mind you, but I mean, it does force out resources, which is one of the things I like about it. Plus, it's big, so if you just need to help closing out games, you know, this card is pretty good for that too. 1 copy of Scrap Wyvern basically lets you target 1 scrap monster in graveyard, special summon, then destroy 1 card you control. If another scrap monster is destroyed by a card effect while you control this card, you can special summon 1 scrap monster directly from your deck. So just another good way to get another scrap raptor if you just want to go into, like, more rank 4 plays. Because keep in mind, raptor is a dinosaur, so that's pretty nice. And plus, this card's pretty easy to make. Just requires 2 monsters as long as one of them is a scrap monster. Playing 1 copy of Almirage. Yeah, we lost Link Kariba, but I mean, Almirage works just as good. And of course, 1 Secure Gardena. This just helps me get double Evolution Pill live. I'm playing the 1 Cross Sheep because, you know, just because, again, I am playing a rank 4 toolbox set. And if I special summon out Colossus while this card is already on the field, then I can basically get an additional free level 4 monster. 1 SP Little Knight. This card's pretty good. If you don't have access to this, I mean, no problem. You don't have to run it. You could probably run Relinquish Anima if you wanted to. 1 IP Masquerena. 1 Nightmare Unicorn. 1 Appaloosa, which, yeah, I can easily make this card in my deck as well. 1 Access Code just to help me clear boards. And as I mentioned, you know, I am going to be running a plethora of rank 4s. 1 Dolka, 1 Logia, as well as a Abyss Dweller. I still feel like graveyard effects are important. The new addition is the Infernal Flame Banshee. That's basically how I get access to Red Flag. So, yeah, Infernal Flame Banshee searches out any Pyro monster, so pretty easy to make, just a generic rank 4 in general. And honestly, there's a card I've been considering playing on the side deck because of this card too, so, but I'll get into detail on that in just a moment. And of course, 1 Gustav Max, just for time in general, so, like, yeah. If I just need to, like, close out a game by burning my opponent for damage, then this is definitely one of the best cards to do so. Or if you wanted to, you can go Gaga Cowboy instead, but yeah, it's one or the other. For the sideboard, or side deck, I'm sorry, playing 3 copies of Drone Lockbird. I don't think this card really needs to be in the main deck as much anymore, but we'll see how this format shifts. Playing a Bestial package, 2 copies of Druid Swarm, 1 Magnamut. Now, the card I'm actually playing along with these cards is actually 1 copy of Arch Nemesis Escados. Now, you might be thinking, like, why not Protos? Well, unfortunately, I don't have a means to search Protos, but Escados is actually searchable through Magnamut because it's a dragon. And I feel like Escados might just be slightly better this format, considering that there are some decks that are mono types, like against Yubel. You call Fiend, they can't summon Fiends. Against the well, against Voiceless Voice, it's a little tricky because, you know, they are different types. But I guess if you want to call something called Warrior just to get that Skull Guard, keep that Skull Guardian from being summoned. But I do have a means to deal with Voiceless Voice anyway. But anyway, going against Snake Eye, just call Pyro. They can't do anything much about that. Fire King in general is a little tricky too, but if you call the right type, you shouldn't have a problem. And there are going to be some other rogue strategies, which, you know, you never know if they're going to be monotype. Against branded, definitely either call Fiend, Fairy, or Dragon. Because, like, a lot of their fusions are dragons, so, like, again, it's kind of tricky on that part. And against, you know, illusion, like Chimera illusion, just call illusions, and yeah, it's going to be kind of tricky for them to deal with that Escados. Next, 2 copies of Lightning Storm, you know, just a good going second card. 2 Cosmic Cyclone. This is more for any like back row heavy strategy, but also against the Fire Kings. You don't want to pop that. You'd rather banish the Fire King Island more than you want to pop it, because, you know, they do get value off of it. 1 Harpy's Feather Duster, and of course 3 copies of Dimensional Bearer. This is primarily for the Voiceless Voice, since, you know, they are rituals, and Dimensional Bearer stops rituals. So I figured, you know what, let's give it a go, and yeah, it definitely works. So yeah, but anyway, well, hopefully you guys enjoyed this, and I will catch you guys again next time. And if you guys get this up to 1,000 views, I'll definitely do a combo video, so just make sure you like and subscribe. Until then, see you next time.